Good afternoon. Well, if you watched my previous video, you would have seen me take this incredibly large laurel here and slowly take out pretty much the entirety of the top here. The idea is I'm trying to pollard it, so I want to cut it down to about 6 to 8 feet tall. It will then send new sprouts out from there, so it'll be a lot easier to manage in the future. And I got to the stage where I've got this one last branch to take down, and it is absolutely massive. The other problem I've got is the ground slopes down there, so the further I go that way, the higher it becomes. I've also got quite an established garden below it, which I don't want to damage, and a greenhouse. So yeah, I've got loads of equipment in as much as I've got a ladder and a rope. So yeah, this is going well so far. I've only had a couple of mishaps, but yeah, let's carry on and see how we get on. So you might be thinking, how on earth are you going to do that? Well, I'm thinking exactly the same, so I'll let you know when I've worked it out. Right, so here's what I've come up with. So I've got this other ladder that I own, and this is an incredibly tall one. Now, I've not got it on full extent. I could go higher, but to be honest, the higher up the tree you go, the more spindly and wavy it gets. So I don't want to go any higher than I have. But at the moment, I've dug a hole at the bottom, so both feet are level. It also means that one leg's down a hole, so that it shouldn't slide in any direction. Then, as I was climbing it, I tied it to the tree here to make sure that it didn't fall and slide away that way. I've then got it tied a second time up there with a separate rope, so if this one snaps, it doesn't matter, there's another rope up there. Then I've tied it at the very top with another rope. It's also resting on two separate branches, because I am aware when I take some weight off the top there is a chance that this branch might raise up. So I've got at least 4 rungs above that lower branch, so if it does raise up, it shouldn't raise up by that much and take away the support from the ladder. So I think I've done everything I can there to make it safe. Now obviously that ladder is taller than this ladder, so I am able to get a little higher than I was expecting, so that means I can reach some of the smaller branches. So I will take out as much as I can before I start cutting the big one, because obviously the less weight there is, the better. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now obviously I'm going to try and fell it this way away from me, and it's quite a bit of weight to dangle on that rope. It's quite a bit of weight to rest on that branch, so there's going to be a fair bit of bounce, so we'll see how it goes. Right, well, I wasn't entirely happy with that, because all the weight is out the back of that branch that I'm going to cut off. So I've just tied another piece of rope up there to pull it this way. So yeah, let's give it a go. Right, well, that's irritating. I didn't cut big enough bird's beak, so the top of it is loose but not quite able to fall this way. I don't want to cut any more off the hinge, because then I risk it falling backwards onto me. Because of the angle that the rope I'm pulling at is at, it doesn't want to particularly go, and if it does go, it'll go with a snap more likely, so that's not good when you stood off a ladder. So I'm going to think about it for a minute and see what I can do. Right, so I've had a bit of time to think about it, and I realise I've got it tied on, so I don't have to worry anywhere near as much as I was. So it's tied either side of that cut, so even if it falls the wrong way, it's just going to land on the ladder. It's not going to land through the greenhouse, so it's good from that point of view. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll climb up, and the rope that I'm using to tension it this way, I'll untie and try and retie tighter, and that will put more tension this way, and then I can continue cutting in and take a bit more of the hinge away once I know it's definitely going to go this way. Worst case scenario at the moment is I untie the rope from up there and it drops that way onto the ladder, but then it's down, is at a level I can deal with. So yeah, let's give it a try. on. Well, that's a load off my mind, quite literally. So that is all the branches gone now. So we've just got the big trunks to deal with. So yeah, I'm happy now. This should be a lot easier from here. So I'm going to stop recording for today because I've got all those branches that I need to clear. It is now, well, it's coming up for 7 o'clock, so I'm going to lose the light soon. So I'm not going to get any more done today. So yeah, I'll pick this up another day. I'll see you in a bit. Right, well it's the next day. I've checked the weather forecast. I was hoping to get this finished at the weekend, but unfortunately it's saying it's going to rain. So I've just come in from work. It's 6 o'clock now, so I'm going to have a go at getting some of these down this evening, and I've got 2 more evenings, and yeah, hopefully I'll get it all down. It'd be nice if I can get it all down tonight, so let's see how we get on. So just before I cut the tallest one off, let's go up there and see what the view's like from the top. Ooh. Yeah, it's a good view from up there. Well, we're almost done. Last few are becoming a bit more problematic. So with this one here, I'm going to get it to swing towards us. It will probably swing down and hit the trunk a couple of times, but I don't want it to swing back and hit me or the ladder. The ladder's tied on, so the ladder won't go anywhere, but I just don't want it to knock it because it will shake the ladder. So see how it goes. Well, that works and it didn't hit me. Unfortunately the knot's gone so tight on that log I can't undo it, so I'm going to be a little minute and then I'll get on with some more. Right, got it eventually. Lost the sun behind the mountain over there. I think it's just in time, so I've got one last one to cut and then that'll be it. Right, well that's all the logs down, so I need to do some tidying up. I still need to trim the top of those flush as well because it's a bit jagged where I've cut them, but I'm not going to bother recording any of that, so what I'll do is I'll tidy up in the next couple of days and I'll show you what it all looks like once I'm finished. So yeah, see you in a bit. Well, that's me all tidied up and all the tools are away. So I've got two big piles of logs that I still need to deal with, so I'll be cutting them up later and I'll be turning them into firewood and filling my firewood shed, so I'm going to have a lot of firewood this year. But yeah, this is looking good. I was pleased to see as I tidied through this area there's almost no damage at all. There's a couple of small bits broken off of this, but other than that everything else was good. So I spent a long time clearing the laurel leaves out of here. I'd like to say that'll be the last time this year. Unfortunately there's another large laurel just over there, but that's on the neighbouring property, so I am speaking to the neighbour and we're coming to some sort of agreement with that, which you might find out about later. But for now I'm getting a lot more light in my greenhouse and I've got this big laurel down, so that'll help the oak tree there and should hopefully help the garden below, allow more light in, and I should have a lot more flowers in the future. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to get back onto something at the water gardens, but if not, you always know there's something going on in my garden too. So I'll end this video here and I shall see you later.